This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, The Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on The Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weight. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show.
Hey, what up? Happy Wednesday. Jason Walker Show. Made it back from Hamilton. We'll talk about that. We'll talk to big coaches today. And much more. We welcome you into the Off the Wall Man Cave. Jason Walker Show. You can watch on Facebook, Twitter, X, YouTube, Rumble, Truth Social. You can listen on Podbean, Network One Sports, Spotify, iHeart Podcast, Apple, Google. We're everywhere. We are everywhere. SoundCloud. Check everything out at jasonwalkershow.com. Also, jasonwalkermedia.com. So yeah, it's going to be a fun show today. We'll talk to Katie Garson-Forba about her team. We'll check in with Ben Dudek about his team, and Guy Holmquist will join us as well. So looking forward to all of this. It's going to be fun. Walk Up, brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry with three distinct divisions. So you can create the log home of your dreams and your budget. You got milled, handcrafted, and timber frame. Stopped by to see Art and Robin yesterday. Did not realize they were on a trip. Got to see Miss Cassie, though, their daughter, and great, great friends of the family and of the show. It was a good time yesterday. And the lady in the front, Brooke, was absolutely super awesome. So check out Montana Custom Log Homes for all of yourcustomlog.com. Was in Hamilton last night. You can, by the way, you can tweet us anytime. X us at JWalkerSports, at Jason Walker Show, at Radio Divide for Continental Divide Radio. Listen to Continental Divide Radio all the way to Hamilton and back. It was awesome. And you can also email Jason at jasonwalkershow.com. All right. So, yeah, I was in Hamilton last night. Kudos to the Montana Highway Department of Transportation. I mean, I left like an hour and a half early because I didn't quite. And then I looked at the road report on 511. I did that. But the job that they've done since we've gotten all the snow over the last couple weeks is fantastic. They are absolutely awesome at getting roads cleared and taking care of the roads in Montana. So, great job. But yeah, I was in Hamilton last night for a triple header. We had a double header on SWX for basketball. There was also wrestling in the middle. And it was pretty awesome. Corvallis won the wrestling. Hamilton won both basketballs. Man, that Hamilton boys team is legit. They've won 13 in a row now to start the season. And I'm telling you, watch out for them at the state tournament. Keenan Magnus, who is just a sophomore, leading the way. Cole Dickamore. They've got some unbelievable, Jack Jessup. They've got some great, great players. And Corvallis gave him a heck of a scare, though. I mean, it was a tie ball game after three quarters. And then Hamilton kind of asserted itself in the fourth. But, man, Corvallis looked pretty good, too. That's going to be a dangerous team as you head into divisionals. But into the postseason. Corvallis wrestling dominated. I think it was 51-18 was the final, or 51-15 was the final. It was good stuff. It was good stuff. No question about that. Got some new rankings. High school boys, let's start there. Bozeman 9-0. Think about the Bozeman boys between football and basketball. They're combined, 24-0 right now. Hellgate, number 2, 8-1. Gallatin sitting in third, 7-2. And then you've got West and Skyview, the top 5, in 4-5. Class A, Hamilton, 13-0. Butte Central, number 2. Lockwood, Billings Central, and Dillon. Loyola boys sit on top of Class B. Red Lodge, Malta, Manhattan, Arlee, your top 5. And then Lodgegrass, Columbus, St. Libre, Anaconda, and Fairfield. In Class C, it's Scobie, Box Elder, Manhattan Christian, Luster Christian, Winnett-Grass Range, 1-5. 6-10 is Custer Hysham, Chester, Joplin, Inverness, Savage, Plentywood, Lincoln. Class AA girls, Skyview, the lone unbeaten, sits number 1. Missoula Big Sky, number 2. Talk about them here in a second. Gallatin, number 3. West, Helena High. Class A, Big Fork, Frenchtown, Billings Central, Miles City, and Dillon. Class B, Huntley Project, a tie for second and third with Chinook and Anaconda. Then you got Baker and Jefferson. Talk about Jefferson here in a second. Loyola Girls 6, followed by Lodgegrass, Shepherd, Malta, Poplar. Seco Whitewater, Hinsdale, and Amber Erickson sit on top at number 1. Twin Bridges, Roberts, Belt, Bainville, the top 5. Scobie, Circle, Roy Winifred, Denton, Geyser, Stanford, Geraldine, and Big Sandy, 6-10. Oh, man. Some hoops last night. We'll get to in a second. Great Falls High alum Aubrey Beaumont has been hired to take over the Rocky volleyball program after Yan resigned. Beaumont was the head coach at Lindsey Wilson down in Kentucky. Played at Jamestown, Setter. Yan resigned in November. She was awesome. And just a super, super awesome coach. Now Beaumont's got some big shoes to fill. When you come from Lori Kelly, Yan, and now you. So good luck down there in Rocky. Let's see. We mentioned we're going to talk some hoops. We'll get to Capital coach Guy Almquist coming up. Butte beat Flathead on the boys' side. And Hudson Lutke is going to be a force for both Helena High and Capital this week. Hardin beat Livingston in Class A. East Helena boys got a win. They beat Jefferson 53-51 in a cross-conference showdown or cross-divisional showdown last night at East Helena. Tucker Petty had 15. So there you go. Big Fork beat Browning by 2. Mentioned Hamilton beating Corvallis. The Hamilton girls beat Corvallis with 55-28. Ashlyn McKern had 12. Taylor McCarthy had 12 as well. Or 16 from McKern. That's the girls. And boys, back to the boys. Billings Central beat Lockwood in a matchup of number 4 over number 3. Class B, number 1, Loyola got a win. St. Libre won. Huntley put up 92 to beat Big Timber. 36 from Parker Cook. Number 10, Fairfield won. Third-ranked Malta won. Let's see, Class C. Third-ranked Manhattan Christian got a big win on the boys' side. 24 for Christian Treemsta. He also had 7 boards. Mentioned some girls. Butte beat Flathead. And Big Sky beat Capital. We'll talk to Katie Garson-Forba about that. Capital in a little bit of an offensive drought right now. Let's see. Class A. Big Fork beat Browning. Peyton Gunlock, 16. Ava Davey at 15 in that one. 4th-ranked Baker rolled Ekalaka. Huntley Project struggled with a little bit with Big Timber. Big Timber was up 67-61 heading into the 4th, and top-ranked Huntley came up with the 82-79 win. Paige Loffing, 30 points. So, some good stuff last night. In high school hoops, Cameron Ketchum, Big Timber, 36. Tied Parker Cook and Lex Laframboise with scoring honors for the state last night, all with 36. Capital Boys got a win last night as they came back from a disappointing crosstown game to beat Missoula Big Sky 69-51. Dane Quinn led the way, 17. Connor Toivonen had 14. And joining us to talk about that is the head coach of the Capital Boys. He had a function yesterday morning, so he joined us this morning. Here's Guy Elmquist on the Jason Walker Show. All right, Coach, a tough one on Friday in Crosstown. Great rebound win last night as you guys beat Big Sky. Was it nice to be able to get that quick turnaround so you're not focused for 5-6 days on last Friday?
Yeah, I think in our case, the quick turnaround was very helpful. And of course, I'm saying that after a win. Had a different result, maybe I'd have my point of view would be different. But I do think that we need to get back out in that court. And Friday we thought we played well for a large majority of that game. Played great defense. Just had a fourth quarter or our last 6 minutes where we just could not throw it in the ocean. And not exactly sure why, other than I just think we lost that aggressiveness that we had early. And Helen High made a couple great plays. It was an interesting game. We made 2 shots in the second half. They made 4 shots in the second half. I couldn't expect our defense to be a whole lot better. And we've had that one quarter kind of all year. And so for us then to get back on it on Tuesday after being pretty bitterly disappointed, to have a second half where we just finally let it rip a little bit. We went man-to-man defense, just really got after it. And then we attacked the hoop. And then once we got inside, then we were kicking outside for threes. And I thought play with a lot of freedom was really nice for our kids to see. And again, maybe one more step on that confidence train for us.
When you look at how you guys ended the Crosstown game, and give Helen High credit, they did, but I said during the broadcast when it got close, Capital and I was saying, like, during timeouts, coach is saying, "Don't panic. We're still in this. We're still fine." Is that what the message was? Like, guys, don't panic. And I thought there was a little bit of that, especially when shots just weren't falling after that first quarter. And you guys had great looks.
Yeah, and I think I just think our confidence isn't quite there. I think we're not 100% in belief that we can make those plays in that moment. And I think, from the beginning of the year to now, we made improvement. We made more improvement last night. We're just not quite there confidence level. But again, it's going to be a process. We're doing a lot of things well right now. We really are. We're really close. And again, last night in the second half, different atmosphere. But we did make some of those plays. And, it's interesting. It's great that we're a balanced team, but sometimes in those moments, you need a guy to get a bucket, right? Like Helena High had a couple guys get buckets where it's not in the offense. It's just one guy making a play. We're going to have a little bit different approach, and we're still searching. I'm still searching as a coach as to how do we get those buckets in those tough spots? How do we manufacture those points? We really don't have a bucket getter, if you will. We've got to be able to find a way and know what our purpose is. And again, I think the kids give great effort. I've got to find a way to help them in those moments.
I know Cole Dawes is a big body. He has great feet movement, and I was really impressed watching him in person. He's a guy that I think can be that go-to guy because he's such a big, wide body and he's so good with his feet. Like I said, just get him the ball, and he can do some great things. And I know he had 10 points last night in victory, but he is so good.
No, I agree with that. I think you got to give Helena High credit. I thought they did a really good job of keeping a ball out of his hands. I mean, we certainly are trying to get there. In fact, I think we maybe were trying to get there too hard.
Okay.
And I think that might have kind of froze everyone else a little bit. So as I think back on it, I think we've got to be careful about that. But for sure, he's someone who, if he gets the ball in the block, he can score. But he's also going to be the focal point of defenses. So we can't get so caught up in it. We've got to have a little bit more freedom of movement, freedom of thought on offense. And again, that's just a work in progress for us.
Dane Quinn last night, huge off the bench, 17 points. And he's a guy that is capable of going off. And I know he plays great defense. It's nice to see him get into the offensive column and do it well like last night.
Great to see. Dane's been playing really well in practice for the last couple of weeks, and I thought played very well in the crosstown game. Played well against Hellgate before that. Dane's biggest thing is just being able to play with confidence, and I think he's really doing that right now. He's a capable player. He does a lot of little things well. He's got tremendous attitude in the court, one of the best talkers we have defensively. And for him to come in and make some shots like that, most importantly, I saw him take a leadership role in terms of handling the ball. We've been pretty much Kyler and Dylan handling the ball, and we sort of need that third guy to step up. And I think the last two games he's done a good job with that, which I think is just a reflection of his increased confidence. So it was great to see last night, and it's been happening for a couple weeks, and we need it to continue.
Another guy that's had a nice couple weeks. The hockey player name from Sweden, Connor Toivonen. I mean, this guy, and I didn't see last night. I was in Hamilton, of course, but watching him in Crosstown, he is the guy he's gritty. He's going to go get every single ball, and he's going to be around every loose ball and cause a lot of problems. And he scored 13 last night, too. So he's got it on both ends going on, too.
Yeah, Connor gives us lots of energy. And, we've had a last 7 to 10 days of a lot of sickness in our program. He was definitely not a full strength in that crosstown game. And you could actually tell a little bit just from a defensive and rebounding perspective. Felt much better last night, and we needed to because we had Merrick Mihelish out of the game last night with Nicholas, and it's close to our program. But, yeah, Connors, he's the guy that kind of makes it hard for me to take him out because when he's in there, we're certainly a better basketball team in all areas.
You got a quick turnaround as we talked to Guy Almquist, Capital Boys coach. You head down to Butte tomorrow, and it's kind of a weird situation because you've got the sub-varsity at one gym, you and the varsity girls are at another gym. How tough is that as a coach because you don't get to see the future of your program?
That part's a little different, a little unfortunate. I actually like when the girls and boys are playing at the same gym. It's too bad we don't have more situations where they can be at the same site and do that, so you can go back and forth. Because I definitely am someone who wants to watch our younger kids play and compete and do a lot of observation at those times. But we'll make do. I think it'll be a great atmosphere for the varsity game down there. I'm always anxious to watch the girls and support them, and it's a big game for us on the road. If we can pull that out, halfway through the conference season, we'll be sitting in pretty good shape, really.
When you look at Butte, the word for the last 10 years that I've been covering Helena sports, Butte is scrappy. What do the Bulldogs bring this season?
Yeah, they're gonna be scrappy. They're gonna they play with a lot of freedom. Hudson Lucky, he's obviously one of the better players in our conference and the state. He really, if he's scoring, rebounding, passing, he kind of does it all for them. And then they're going to let a lot of threes go. And so we're really going to have to, how do we stop his penetration while at the same time have a hand on a catch everyone at the 3-point line? So it'll be, I'm sure, a wild game usually is down there, and a great atmosphere. I'm anxious to see how our kids handle that environment.
Is it easier against the dribble drive that's become so popular the last decade or so? Is it easier to play man or zone?
Kind of depends. It just depends on your matchups. A lot of the zones you're seeing now are actually built to not to stop the inside game, but they're really to stop penetration. And we do that quite a bit where we're trying to stop penetration so they can't get the driving kicks. We'd rather have them throwing around the perimeter, shooting those threes than the driving kicks inside out threes. And so, last night, even though the Reed kid is a very quick and whatever, second half we went entirely man. Dylan and Dane took some turns on Kyler at times. we just tried to keep them in front the best we could. It helped out, but other times, Wetzel gets going or Lucky gets going, you got to stop the penetration, keep on the perimeter. So I think it's sort of a feel thing. Both can work and both can struggle. You've got to continue to adjust as the game goes on.
And sometimes as the possession goes on. I remember Carson Cunningham would switch defense in the middle of a possession.
Yep. Every once in a while, we'll try to do that. I would say it's a little bit easier with college kids than high school kids. But there is that too, for sure.
It was National Pie Day the other day. Go-to pie for Guy Almquist.
I think I'm a red-blooded American. I'm going with apple pie.
Okay. Now,
apple pie, but I like ice cream on my pie.
Oh, see, I like it on the side. Do you prefer the apple pie or like an apple crisp?
Apple pie.
Okay.
Apple pie.
Because there's something about that crunchiness, like the crumble. Apple crumble is really good.
Yeah, I like that pie, but I like the vanilla ice cream. And don't give me all this other nonsense ice cream. I want vanilla ice cream, and I like ice cream pie in every bite.
Well, and when you're eating that way, you have to go vanilla. I mean, you can't put a Neapolitan on there on an apple
I think
pie.
so.
You can't put a chocolate out there. And I love chocolate ice cream, but you can't do that.
If I see people eating pie with anything but vanilla, I have questions about you, for sure.
You're the same age. Yesterday was Tiffany Amber Thiessen's birthday. Were you a Saved by the Bell Kelly Kapowski fan growing up?
I would say I was more of a Kelly Kapowski fan than a Saved by the Bell fan. Is that fair?
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably the camp I'm living in right there.
Good luck at Butte tomorrow.
All right. Yeah. Appreciate it. It's a big game. We can, like I said, this will be the first half of conference and we can set ourselves. We have a great opportunity, but we have a great opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it. You
guys have put yourself in a position to take care of yourself and not rely on other teams, really.
100%. And regular season, it's all about improvement and position yourselves for a divisional tournament, because that's really what matters. Is the divisional tournament, and we've got to be in the spot and have a confidence level and so we can go and perform well for 3 days. And this is the site of the divisional tournament. It's the Civic Center. So another opportunity in that regard as well.
Yep. Perfect. And I love that gym. It's one of the best in the state for sure.
It's fun. It's fun. I think it's a shooter's gym. So I hope it goes that way tomorrow.
All right. Well, good luck. Safe travels. And we'll chat soon, Coach.
All right. Thanks, Jason.
Guy Almquist joining us. Off the Wall Man Cave, and a big win for the Bruins last night. And after coming off what happened in the fourth quarter in Crosstown, where they lost the lead and then lost by 10. That was a much-needed win last night for sure. Let's see here. We'll take a break. We'll come back. When we return, we'll check in with Coach Almquist's counterpart over at Capital on the girls' side. Katie Garson-Forba will join us. Does she like crunchy or creamy peanut butter? We'll find out. And how do the Bruins get out of an offensive slump? Also going to be joined by Ben Dudek, Helena High girls coach. Much more still to come here from the Off the Wall Man Cave on the Jason Walker Show. The walk-up brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, veteran-owned, family-owned, woman-owned and operated. Check them out, yourcustomlog.com. Katie Garson-Forba, when we come back here, Jason Walker Show.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
For more than 20 years, Off the Wall Advertising has built a track record of success helping businesses like yours across the state of Montana. While working with hundreds of businesses, including Jason Walker Media, they have developed a system for success. Off the Wall Advertising utilizes indoor advertising, placing professional billboards in high-traffic locations. Let Off the Wall Advertising show you how to get the return on investment you expect from every advertising dollar. Off the Wall Advertising, along with the Jason Walker Show and Continental Divide Radio, have packages for even more bang for your buck. Contact Off the Wall today at offthewallmt.com to schedule a free consultation. There's only one place in Helena to cure your craving for Cajun cuisine, and that is Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys and catfish to jambalaya and much more, Cafe Zydeco has the best Cajun this side of New Orleans. And Cafe Zydeco cares about those that take care of us. Military, law enforcement, first responders can get your drink free as a way of saying thank you to those that protect us every day. If you're looking for a place to grab lunch or dinner, get the flavor of the Big Easy in Big Sky Country at Cafe Zydeco on Euclid in Helena.
Ah, summer. A time to work in the yard and get all those projects that you've been thinking about all winter done. And when you've had enough, go to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar to cool off, relax, laugh a little, or a lot, your choice. Have a drink and play your favorite games. There's plenty of new games and your old favorites. Now, if you don't want to work hard and the relaxing part sounds the best to you, then just head over to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar on Dredge behind Jade Restaurant. Happy summer, everyone.
Winters in Montana can be cold and snowy, so let Auto Concepts set up your vehicle with a remote starter system. A remote starter will get your car or truck warmed up on those cold Montana mornings before work or taking the kids to school. Auto Concepts is also the go-to place for everything to enhance your ride, from bumper guards to bed rugs and tonneau covers too. Let Auto Concepts make your commute or drive comfortable. Auto Concepts in Helena, the auto enhancement professionals.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show, Off the Wall Man Cave. The only song from a James Bond theme to hit number one. Duran Duran. Yes. I was never a big Bond fan. I know my grandpa Keith used to watch Bond movies all the time. I never got into it. I know Sean Connery was great. I've seen Thunderball, filmed down in the Bahamas, but I don't think I ever saw any of the Roger Moores, and definitely nothing of the last 30 years of Bond. I never got into Bond. I don't know why. That's all I got. The segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. Well, the Capital girls have been in an offensive slump. It's kind of like, baseball. You just figure out, keep shooting, keep swinging. Eventually it'll come around. And joining us in the Off the Wall Man Cave to talk about her team and a whole lot more is the great Katie Garson-Forbin. She joins us now here on the Jason Walker Show. All right, Coach. Kind of been a rough week for the Capital girls, but good news is you made it back from Missoula last night. You didn't have to spend the night.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're taking that as a win, considering how. I mean, our last 3 weeks have been just. There's been a lot of weirdness in the last 3 weeks. It started with getting stranded in Missoula, and then we have Crosstown, which is its own emotions. And, I mean, there's just a lot going on, but. We made it home safely.
Let's go back to Crosstown Friday night. You guys never led, got it close at the end, but Helena High played very well. And I think from my perspective, watching the game in person, it seemed to kind of take you guys out of rhythm. And they had a game plan for Taylor Sayers, and it worked to perfection almost.
Yeah, I mean, and I wish I could say that it's something we haven't seen yet. That's part of the struggles that this group is having to adjust to is, teams have thrown, a single defender at Taylor just trying to take her away. And so I thought for us, in the second quarter when they went on their run, they scored 13 in that quarter and we missed 6 layups.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of been the storyline is, a lot of times as a coach, you're looking at what do we need to adjust? What do we need to do to get better looks? And we just have to, and I've said this for a few games now, we have to finish. And when teams throw something different out there at us, we've got to be able to mentally adjust. And I think that's going to be the biggest challenge for this group. And I think they'll rise to it. I mean, they're still figuring out what their identity looks like. But I mean, I think Helena High came out, they're playing very well together. They've got a ton of team chemistry. You can tell that they just kind of click on all cylinders together. And so that's where we got to get to.
It seems to me, if you look back to even last week or 2 weeks ago, Missoula, but a little bit of an offensive slump right now. 27 points in the 30s the last couple of games. And I know you can't coach it, but how do you coach it mentally to tell them, keep taking your shots? They're just not falling right now, but you guys are playing really good basketball.
I mean, that's really the message. And I think that's the hardest part that you try and coach through. And, you can do so many things as a coach, and then, it comes down to just kind of the mental thing for some of our kids. And we've been preaching it for 2 years. That hasn't changed much with some of these players that we have. But I mean, I think we always go back and we look at, okay, what type of shots are we getting? Are those typically high percentage shots? And the answer is yes, probably 90% of the time. And so, in our game last night against Big Sky, we had a stretch there where, I mean, we missed, I can think right now off the top of my head, 4 or 5 missed layups or missed interior shots that were great looks out of our offense that we just have to go finish. And so, I mean, we would tell them, like, it's still a lot of season left. We want to be fixing those things as we get to the divisional tournament, because our conference is going to beat each other up every night, and we know that. And so really it's just focusing on continuing to get better at those things every day. And then when it clicks, and, hopefully it clicks at the right time. But it's one of the biggest challenges that we're kind of dealing with right now, and figuring out, okay, how do we get that confidence piece for our kids where they do just start knocking down shots.
Can you do me a favor? And this goes back to when my first year calling Carroll games, and KDSD would always do the scoop shot layup. Can we stop that? Girls
we don't
doing this, the underhand scoop shot layup, like, please. Yeah. And it's guys too.
I remember when I had a coach, it was like my high school coach or like a middle school coach that tried to teach us to do that. And I could never do it, and it drove me crazy. And that was like the thing for a while. And then, I just go finish. For me, just go finish.
I mean, there's going to be a time where you've got to do a reverse, or you've got to adjust. Yeah. I get that. And I'm not singling Katie out. She was a great player for the Carroll women back in the day. But and I saw it with you guys' games, and I saw it again last night in Hamilton. Like, just, guys, girls, go finish at the rim, please. You've got the shot. Yeah. Please, it's a high percentage layup. There's a reason those go in 98% of the time.
Yeah. Just go finish, which is such a simple concept, but it's like so hard to get that to resonate. It's like one of the wildest things that we have to focus on is just go finish through contact. And they're like, what? You'll finish through contact.
What is that?
Right. Totally.
Oh, Katie Garson-Forber, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. And now you guys got to regroup. Quick turnaround. You head to Butte tomorrow. A lot of games in a quick span. And, we haven't had the reschedules, which is good. But I know what word you're going to use to describe Butte. But it's true, because they are from Butte, and Scrappy is going to be the Bulldogs tomorrow night.
Yeah, they got 2 great shooters, and Britton Stewart and Cadence Graham, and they just beat Flathead down there, and it'll be another weird day that gets kind of thrown at us, because the boys are playing down there too, and so we've got 2 of our teams playing at Butte High, we've got our other 2 teams playing at Pacific Center, same with the boys, and so it's like our schedule, like nothing is normal with our schedule tomorrow, and so our kids are going to have to just mentally adapt to that. But Butte High, they'll be. Brian does a really nice job coaching them, and they're not super big, but they've got a lot of good stuff in for their scores, and the rest of their team, they really do a nice job of just filling their role, and they get hot from 3. It's going to be a long night, because they can shoot the ball well, and they've got 2 pretty prolific scorers that make their offense go, and if they get hot, they get rolling quick.
When you look at tomorrow, how frustrating is it, or how tough is it as the head coach to know that, you've got teams that you can't watch because you're at a different gym and with the jumbled schedule?
Yeah, it's actually really hard. And I understand why they're trying to do it, to be able to get, parents and kids the opportunity to watch the boys and the girls. I wish we could go to a split schedule where it's like boys play one night, girls play the next night, or vice versa. That to me is less, it puts you out of a weird rhythm. First off, it's like not part of your game day routine to like have the boys playing and then us. And so that is one thing, but it is really frustrating to not be able to watch your sub-varsity teams, because that ultimately is who's going to fill your program over the next couple of years. And for us, it's really important that our kids get to watch, our sub-varsity teams, and that they get to watch our older teams, and just to create some continuity and make it feel like we are one program. So I think that it's hard, and I don't love that aspect of it, but I'm also very much a creature of habit, and I'm having to learn that I don't get to control a lot of things in this job. And so I just have to adapt. Again, I understand why they're doing it, but it's just like one more thing to navigate. And, we've got to get kids to Butte High, and then we've got to bus them over to the Civic Center, then we've got to send the bus back over to Butte High, and then they got to get back. I mean, it's those logistics. It's one more thing on top of trying to actually win a basketball game.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to deal with high school kids that are used to a routine, because if they get messed up out of it, forget you. If the girls get messed up out of their routine, I mean, who's going to – if you've got a varsity player that does a JV player's hair, how are we going to adjust to that?
Yeah. I mean,
and I joke, but it's true.
Yeah. No, but it's true. It's true. I mean, any athlete has a routine, and – anyone that doesn't, like, I question, their mental focus a little bit. But it's like you look back, and I know I had a routine as a player, and so I look at their creatures of habit, and then that gets disrupted a little bit, and it is. I mean, and I get it. It's a small piece to it, and it's all mental, but it's more logistics to have to figure out on top of already being on the road at a game and all that. And again, I support it. It's not my favorite thing. Crosstown stacks was a little bit chaotic. Will be, it just adds another level of prep that you've got to kind of worry about.
I noticed last week when I came over and talked to you and met your brother that I think you were wearing the pants that he bought in Missoula that turned into capris.
Close. Any of my pants would probably be very short on him. Just as you get to here, and I don't know if he's 6'6" or 6'7". I don't know where I'm tapping out at, but yeah, he's got a few inches on me.
He was sitting down. I shook his hand, and he was still taller than me, and I was standing up, and I was two rows up from him.
Yeah. And he was a point guard. That's the funny thing. Is everybody's like, oh, man, he must have been a post player. No, he was a point guard.
He's like Trace Tinkle.
Yeah. Yep.
That's great. It was National Pie Day this week, and it's also National Peanut Butter Day. Favorite pie first?
Shelley's had, I think it's, Shelley's. They've got an Oreo cookie pie that is really good, like an Oreo cream pie. That is probably my go-to. I love Oreos, but I also really like banana cream pie too.
Okay, you had me at Oreo.
It's delicious.
Oreos and milk at 3:00 this morning was fantastic for me. And I've got to send you a meme that is hilarious with Oreos. Crunchy or creamy peanut butter?
I would say creamy 90% of the time, but every once in a while I get this wild hair when I'm in the grocery store, and I was like, and it's like I'm gonna buy some crunchy peanut butter, and then I'll eat a little bit of it, and I never like it, so I'd say creamy. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what comes over me, but it's like, you know what? I think I'm going to get the crunchy kind today. And it's the dumbest thing. And it's like the once a year purchase that I don't know why I do it.
Brandon Day yesterday said that he, if he wanted the crunchiness, he'd just eat a handful of peanuts.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah. Just saying. I had something else for you too that wasn't kind of. Shoot, it's on the top of my. See, this is what lack of sleep does.
I was going to say, this is welcome to the show, folks. This is what sleep deprivation sounds like.
We could just do an hour of absolute a Seinfeld episode, which I've never seen Seinfeld, but this is like the show about nothing today.
It's the show about nothing. Basketball, what's that?
Yes.
Like peanut butter and pie.
That's exactly right. You could have a peanut butter pie.
You could. Actually, I bet. Well, I think I probably had one, and it's probably delightful. Yeah, here's my question for you. Talking about peanut butter.
Okay.
Are you a Reese's fan at all?
Oh, absolutely. Okay,
is your preference like the peanut butter cup or the holiday themed ones?
No, I don't like the holiday themed ones are good just because it's Reese's, but I put Reese's cups in the fridge for a few days to get them cold, and then I break them up like cookies and put them in milk and eat it like cereal.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's your blood sugar doing?
Actually, really good. I don't eat it a ton. Hey, I got off 2 medicines. I got off my high blood pressure and I got off my cholesterol. So I'm doing well. Good.
You still eat that on a regular basis?
No, that's for special treats.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. Oh, that's funny. That's a good idea. You know what else is really good in the summer is put a Reese's cup on a s'more instead of Hershey's chocolate.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Coach.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do the Traeger. Matt, you can do the s'mores, and we'll make it a fantastic affair. The little one will love both. She can do the rub for the flank steak, and then she'll love, of course, the chocolate, the s'mores, because she likes Reese's too. At Halloween, she refuses to give me hers.
Good for her. I mean, I realize there's like a parent tax or something associated with it. I wouldn't know, but yeah, I mean, good for her. Hoard the good stuff.
Yes, and she's learned. She has learned early. I taught her well.
It was hilarious. Yesterday, I always have a jar of candy in my office, and one of my employees walked by and was like looking through my window, and I was like, "Oh yeah, do you need something?" And she's like, "Yeah, I just needed to come get a Reese's out of the jar." But I didn't want to interrupt you. Come on in, I've got it.
That is fantastic. But so, okay, I got to come to your office just so I can get Reese's, especially around Halloween, so I can get my.
I have a great candy dish in my office. Figure if they're not hungry, then they can't be. They can't get hangry. So keep the natives happy.
That is true. Get a win tomorrow down at Butte, will you?
We will do our very, very best. We need one.
It's all right. It's still early in the season.
It is.
Not really. I mean, you're halfway through.
6 weeks to go.
Thanks, Coach, for joining us as always. And enjoy your Reese's today. And we'll talk next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jason.
Katie Garson-Forba joining us. Jason Walker Show, Off the Wall Man Cave. She's fantastic. Capital's got to do some things offensively. They got to score. 31-27 is not going to get it done in Double-A. But they can do it. They've got good talent. They definitely do. We'll take a break. We'll come back. When we return, Ben Dudek. We'll talk Helena High Girls Hoops next here, Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Winters in Montana can be cold and snowy. Winters in Montana can be cold and snowy, so let Auto Concepts set up your vehicle with a remote starter system. A remote starter will get your car or truck warmed up on those cold Montana mornings before work or taking the kids to school. Auto Concepts is also the go-to place for everything to enhance your ride, from bumper guards to bed rugs and tonneau covers too. Let Auto Concepts make your commute or drive comfortable. Auto Concepts in Helena, the auto enhancement professionals.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
For more than 20 years, Off the Wall Advertising has built a track record of success helping businesses like yours across the state of Montana. While working with hundreds of businesses, including Jason Walker Media, they have developed a system for success. Off the Wall Advertising utilizes indoor advertising, placing professional billboards in high traffic locations. Let Off the Wall Advertising show you how to get the return on investment you expect from every advertising dollar. Off the Wall Advertising, along with the Jason Walker Show and Continental Divide Radio, have packages for even more bang for your buck. Contact Off the Wall today at offthewallmt.com to schedule a free consultation. There's only one place in Helena to cure your craving for Cajun cuisine, and that is Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys and catfish to jambalaya and much more, Cafe Zydeco has the best Cajun this side of New Orleans. And Cafe Zydeco cares about those that take care of us. Military, law enforcement, first responders can get your drink free as a way of saying thank you to those that protect us every day. If you're looking for a place to grab lunch or dinner, get the flavor of the Big Easy in Big Sky Country at Cafe Zydeco on Euclid in Helena.
Ah, summer. A time to work in the yard and get all those projects that you've been thinking about all winter done. And when you've had enough, go to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar to cool off, relax, laugh a little or a lot, your choice. Have a drink and play your favorite games. There's plenty of new games and your old favorites. Now, if you don't want to work hard and the relaxing part sounds the best to you, then just head over to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar on Dredge behind Jade Restaurant. Happy summer, everyone.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Got to turn the microphone on. Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. A little cameo. Word up. Off the Wall Man Cave on a Wednesday. Make sure you go to Continental Divide Radio, Apple, download it at the App Store. You can also Alexa play Continental Divide Radio. And yeah. What's playing right now? Oh, nice. Little Van Morrison. Van Morrison's good. I think he's underrated. I really do. You can hear Van Morrison and much more at Continental Divide Radio. Jason Walker Media. A couple of big games for the Helena High girls this week, and both at home. That's a good thing for Ben Dudek, the head coach, and he joins us now to recap the win over Crosstown, look ahead to the Big Sky and Butte matchups this week here on Jason Walker Show in the Off the Wall Man Cave.
All right, Coach, big win for the Helena High girls in Crosstown. You guys led throughout last Friday. A fantastic win on the road in a very tough environment. How well did it go for you outside of the obvious, hey, we won, but how well did you think the team played?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we played to our strengths. In that first quarter, the pace was a little bit slower than I think we wanted it. So really focused on that in the second quarter, making sure that ball got up and down the floor a lot quicker, kind of got them outside their comfort zone. But they're a tough team. They keep coming at you, and they showed that in the second half. So we really had to stick to what we do. on both sides of the floor. But obviously defensively, we did a really good job on assignments, closing off gaps to the paint. Got in the glass pretty well on both ends of the floor, and then obviously we were able to pull it out.
You watching the game, you guys defensively had such a great game plan against Taylor Sayers, and I know it's not just the Taylor Sayers show for Capital. She's their leading scorer and one of the best in AA, but you guys fronted her and was just in your face pressure defense on her, and I think it took the whole team kind of out of a rhythm.
Yeah, I mean, Maddie Todorovic can do a lot of different things, and we're blessed to have one of the best girl athletes in the state, if not one of the best athletes period in the state. The things that she can do, and because of her length and athleticism on the defensive end of the floor, can really disrupt other teams. We've been able to do that before with other teams in the West. But then, like I said, it's not just Taylor. I mean, they got girls all over the floor that can play.
Mm-hmm.
One of our main points is always to not allow dribble penetration inside the paint. It doesn't, whether that means that we're base guarding somebody or hard hedging somebody to, not allow them to hit threes off a step back, pick and roll action. We really pride ourselves in keeping that ball outside the paint. We didn't do that well the entire game. They got some penetration and just weren't able to finish. But I would say for 28, 29 minutes of the game, we were able to keep that ball outside the paint, and really not allow all those guards to create not only opportunities for themselves but their teammates.
Yeah, I was impressed with the defense. Watching that team for you guys live and in person was very impressed on Friday night. Ben Dudek joining us, Helena High girls basketball coach. You guys had some time off now. You don't play again until tomorrow. How beneficial has that coming off a win, or would you guys have liked to have preferred to hit the floor last night?
No, it's been a big benefit, not only for our varsity team, but also our whole program. We've been kind of banged up since the beginning of the year, and have tried to recover from some injuries. And you know how that goes. I mean, if you're injured at the lower level, that definitely affects what you're able to do at the upper levels as well. Mm-hmm. So after that 4 games in 6 days to start the year, it was nice to kind of have 8 days off, play Capital. A couple of our kids were able to come back from injury then, but to get another, whole weekend off and then kind of just work through the week, it's been really beneficial for us to get healthy. That's obviously the most important thing as you get into February and late in the year is you want to be healthy. So, that's been a benefit to us, and we're all healthy and ready to go.
You guys played well on the road, but it's going to be nice for the next 2 weeks. You're at home, and it starts tomorrow with Big Sky. What do you expect from the Eagles? They're quick, and they've got some very good talent, but what are you guys looking for?
We've the last couple of years, ever since Gaines Couture has been there, it's been a real battle between the two teams. Every game is physical. The last couple times we've played them, it's been really tight in the fourth quarter. Actually, all 3 times last year, and I think we're just prepared for a physical battle, but also a mental battle. I think it's going to be back and forth. And they got a whole lot of talent. It's not just Couture and DeCoit. I mean, they got shooters all over the floor that can put them up. So you have to be really disciplined in your gap assignments, but also quick to get out into shooters. And then defensively, they're really active in that 1-2-2 that they run with Avery DeCoit on top is difficult because she's so quick, so active, reads the game really well. So we're going to have to execute really well, know where to put the ball and where not to put the ball. But in the end, also just play loose. I mean, it's going to be one of those games. Both teams are 5-0 going into it, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a dogfight. And we're kind of ready for that.
Helena High's used to being at the top of the standings in the Western AA for the last 3 decades. Big Sky has been one of those programs that has slowly climbed the ladder, and is can you use that as an advantage for the Bengals? Because Big Sky's not used to being in this position. I know they've been good the last couple of years and solid, but they're not quite used to playing as really a favorite at times.
I don't think that matters at all when you're talking about, especially when you have two kids that are just flat out hoopers.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, those two, or you call them five, but you know, it really starts with Couture and Avery DeCoy. Those kids don't care. I mean, they're just, you know, they're out to rip your throats out whenever they get an opportunity. You know, and they're just flat out hoopers. So you know, the moment's never too big for them. And I think that showed last year when they were able to get to state and you know, and play well. And they're all a year older. And I mean, they have some kids that have been playing varsity basketball now for 3 years. So I mean, they're ready to go. And I think, you know, they're playing loose and playing confident ever since about halfway through the year last year. So, yeah, we're just going to have to be ready for a battle, because that's what it's going to be.
It is going to be a battle tomorrow night. One of the days this week, it was National Pie Day today. Go to pie for Ben Dudek.
Pumpkin, no doubt.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, pumpkin with maybe more whipped cream than pumpkin pie. So whipped cream without pumpkin pie.
I can't do the pumpkin. I just can't. Never have. Lemon meringue is a great pie. I'm with you on the whipped cream. I could just eat a tub of whipped cream. I mean, that's
that's the easy part.
Yeah, but I don't think I could choke down pumpkin pie.
And one of those things where you either love it or you hate it, I think.
Yeah, and So when September rolls around and everybody starts talking about all the pumpkin stuff, you lost me. It's also, today is National Peanut Butter Day. Are you a creamy or crunchy peanut butter guy?
I'm any type of peanut butter. You put peanut butter on anything, I'm good to go.
Okay.
So, like a crunchy, smooth. Actually, the only thing I don't like is peanut butter. I don't like the all natural stuff. I don't like that.
Okay.
All that, like how wet it is. I like it to be nice and smooth.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
Yeah, peanut butter, I agree with you. It's good. It's good on, I could probably put it on a dog biscuit and eat it.
There you go, yeah.
Because those are bland. I've actually eaten one before.
I can't say I've had the privilege. Maybe I'll
bite into a milk bone, Coach. You guys win. There you go. You win state. You got to eat a milk bone in the locker room.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely eat a milk bone.
Coaches will do a lot of things if it means they're winning state tournaments. Coach, appreciate it. Good luck. 2 games at home this week with Big Sky tomorrow, and then Butte coming to town on Saturday. Appreciate it. Congratulations on the streak you guys are on, and keep it rolling.
Yep.
That is Ben Dudek joining
Coach,
us.
Big win for
what are we doing here?
the Helena High girls in Crosstown. You guys led throughout.
Stop that. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. Little technical difficulty there. Just pushing buttons all over the place. Oh, man. Ben Dudek joining us off the wall man cave. Okay. We are starting. This is so cool with Continental Divide Radio. We are so close to getting a morning show started and an afternoon show started and a whole lot more. I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome. More awesome than it already is. Make sure you go to Continental Divide Radio. Check it out. Google it, Alexa it, Apple App Store, download it. Yeah, love it. Let's see. Let's do on this day in history. It is, in addition to Peanut Butter Day, it is also National Beer Can Day, because on this date in 1935, the first canned beer is sold by Kruger Brewing Company. It was Kruger's Cream Ale. Let's see. 1952, first NFL team in Texas, the Dallas Texans, lose 11 of 12 games. They were the New York Yanks before that. 1976, former world heavyweight boxing champ George Foreman knocked out Ron Lyle in the 5th round at Caesars Palace. Foreman was knocked down twice in the 4th. It was the fight of the year for The Ring magazine. 1982, Super Bowl 16, Detroit, Pontiac Silverdome. Joe Montana and the 49ers beat the Bengals of Cincinnati 26-21. 1993, U.S. Men's Figure Skating Championship won by Scott Davis. born in Great Falls. David Duvall eagled the 18th hole for a final round 59, 1999. Just the third player to fire a sub-60 round on the PGA Tour. 1848, James Marshall finds gold at Sutter's Mill in Coloma, California, setting off the California Gold Rush.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
The walk-off presented by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. Stop in for the best Cajun this side of New Orleans. I'm telling you, Pasta Zydeco on a chilly Montana day, not much better than that. It'll heat you up for sure. And not just because it's spiced to perfection, but because it's nice and warm. And it's got the andouille sausage. Oh. My little one's got cheer camp tonight and Friday, and then she performs at East Helena on Saturday. So looking forward to that. I don't know if I get to stick around. So she's missing gymnastics tonight because she's got cheer camp. But she's excited. She's excited to be a vigilante cheerleader for the weekend. And I'm excited for her. And I get to take her. So I love doing stuff with her. She's just awesome. And the older they get, I mean, she's almost too smart for herself sometimes. But she's awesome. Great show today. Thanks to Katie Garson-Forba, Guy Almquist, Ben Dudek for joining us. Scheduled tomorrow, and I say scheduled because we'll see if he snow blows us off for the third time in 3 weeks. Ty Ridgway from East Helena, boys, set to join us. They got a big win. They beat Jefferson last night. We'll talk with Carson Bender. His girls fell to the 5th-ranked Jefferson girls. And also Tyler Patrick from Townsend Boys. Coach will join us. Join us back here tomorrow, Off the Wall Man Cave. If you missed anything, JasonWalkerShow.com. You can also go to JasonWalkerMedia.com and make sure you check out Continental Divide Radio. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the Jason Walker Show.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.